Hello, request video. The future from Ron Saudinger. The future of the population of Australia. He says that Australia increases in population 1 million people a year. I didn't know. That's a lot for a 20 million person country. I mean, that must have happened recently, because that means that 20 years ago or 15 years ago they had 20 million. Now they have 30 million. But well, yeah, I think Australia can. And his question was, can Australia take more people? And my answer is yes. Australia can take 300 million, just like America. As soon as we have free energy, which we will have, a cubic centimeter. People have done studies. The 0-point field, the ether. A cubic centimeter of air around us can produce as much energy to power America for like a day. So once we create the little coils which mimic the natural, the golden mean spiral, the natural way that energy operates, you can actually create these little things that create more energy than what they take in. Once you can do that, you can purify salt water, and which takes a lot of energy. But once you can purify salt water, you can pump that stuff. You can use that energy also to pump that water into all the way into the center of the country, and then grow whatever you want. Grow stuff with aeroponic skyscrapers, where you don't even the only nutrient you need is phosphorus, and you can recycle that. So just give them the phosphorus tablets, the air, and then boom, you can have civilizations all throughout Australia, which can offer a really interesting opportunity to create very individualized and specialized cities. People could draw up, kind of like, the founder of our city back, Romulus, back in 756 BC. He set up the city to do this, or the founder of a company. Some rich person or person in charge of some new city could just create their own idea of the city, the perfect city, and just go out way in the middle of the outback and lay it out, and they'll have all the space they need and create a city, with whatever you want, wide streets or different layouts, and it'll be the perfect breeding ground for that. And maybe a good warm up for moving to Mars. We can terraform with the proper funding. We could terraform Mars in 100 years, and I think that's from like mainstream science. Not even the science that speculate like. What Mars probably, according to Richard Hogan, probably really is like, that already has grass on there now. So, anyways, yeah, Australia would be a good warm-up place for that. Hate to say this, but Australia is never going to be as cool as America. No country, or Canada, no country's ever going to be cool as America. We have everything. We have rivers, we have deserts, we have sandstone canyons and huge mountains, and I don't see us getting so far technically advanced to create a huge mountain in the middle of Australia, with like huge cranes that can dig up and pile up some big mountain to create its own weather system. And that would be cool, though. I mean, it's possible. Not any time within the next 1,000 years, but I don't think. But that would be a cool thing to do. Maybe we could, but and in that case, yeah, Australia could be pretty cool. But yeah, there's lots of ways to harness energy, even with the technology we have now. Australia is incredibly windy, and so even with the technology we have now, we could put up windmills all over the place, and maybe use that energy to, it wouldn't desalinate water, and pump more water into the innards of Australia. But if anybody's like, we need to suppress immigration to Australia because it can't take the people. I think Australia will be able to take the people forever. Maybe not now until we get that technology, free energy technology to desalinate water. But I think Australia is a good beacon of light down there in the South Pacific. I do believe that Australia is culturally is the most advanced in that region because it comes from England, and so you can help all the other people come up in the world. I don't really know. The only part of Australia I know is between Darwin and Perth, and then up the north-west coast, and then down to Brisbane and Sydney. I don't know, like the part of New South Wales between Sydney and Melbourne, which is where all the hills are, and that part's nice. Yeah, it'll be interesting. The future will be very interesting. Okay.